Hello everyone and welcome back to another video starring Raven and his lovely mate. We're picking up right where we left off. Raven looks at his mate. Deciding maybe they could explore a bit. He's not that tired yet. Though the noise in the distance sure is annoying. He's not used to hearing so many loud noises all at once. I'm totally not saying that because the elk are annoying me. So he decided best to probably just run off into the next direction. No, now that time passes, he's starting to get the hang of being out here in the wild. And his mate definitely taught him something. He can mark carcasses are and find his way back to them by his descent. That's how I'm putting it as for when you howl in game and are able to find carcasses later. That they mark the carcass, remember where it is, and they're always able to find it. Yes, that's how it happens now. So he'll just run off into the distance a bit with his mate. He's happy now that the noises have stopped, and I'll just chill out for a bit. Maybe his mate wants to play. Rolling on his belly, which is kind of an act of submission. Be nice to lay down with her for a bit. This is quite nice. He's not exactly tired, but at the same time he doesn't find a need to roam around quite yet. He'll play with his mate, yeah. He'll wag his tail back at her, basically mirroring her actions. And maybe a howl. The mate wants to play. If she doesn't, well then they'll just take another nap, honestly. So that's all I'll do. Just take another nap. Once he does sleep curled up, feeling the urge to just lay down and sleep right then and there. Oh no, why did his mate move farther away from him? Maybe how? He's happy his mate howled back. Maybe she wants to play? Well, now when you name her. I am going to see if I can ask a friend of mine to name her. Which means there's going to be a cut here. Alright, I thought of a name. Well, more like I had help from a friend of mine who thought of this name. Riju. From what I heard, this is a character in Legends of Zelda. I don't know if it's Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, or any of their other games with Link in them. But they suggested this name, and we are going to name this pretty little girl after them. He happily chases around with his mate. Alright. Well, continue. So you will probably, don't move to South Creek. And what do you think you were eating? Seriously, a bead? What am I gonna do with you? What am I? Sorry, my dog. Alright, now are we on a set time limit? Nope. Alright then. I've gotta see though. To South Creek to Heverong Mountain. So we gotta go up there. Got it. That'll get us to South Creek. We don't know where Lost River is though. Amar River. And something is telling him to move further up. Somewhere up north. He doesn't know why, but something's telling him to. Him and his mate, Riju, are not quite hungry, nor are they tired, so they'll run up north for a while. He doesn't know why, but he has a feeling that here would not be the best place for puppies. So he'll move. The further up he goes means the more likely that they are to find like a nice place to have puppies. So he just has to continue running up north, I guess. So that thing in the distance makes him feel a little bit uneasy. Just a quick growl. Let them know. He's the boss here. It seems like he's almost made his destination. Do you want to travel to South Creek? Yes, I do. This is taking a while to load. Oh my god. Seems like they finally made their destination. And now they can start walking up. On other words, marking territory. It seems like he'll never be able to get to Lost River this way. No, it's still National Park. God, you coughed me. Seems like there's just a whole lot of moving, and he isn't really entirely down for that, in all honesty. Seems like he's almost out of this territory. At least he thinks so. Smelling around, he notices. Well, first he notices that his mate was a little bit far behind him. But she quickly caught up. He still doesn't like the radio collar, whatever that is, on her neck. Nor does he like this. That's a weird item, I guess. Never seen that before. Well, he's seen one of those wheels before. Back when he was in captivity, but he's not smelling anything else. Maybe just maybe, if he howls. No, this place is starting to smell like him. Howl again. Pack rally. And then march again. His mate gladly helps him with that. Now he's ready. He'll make his way. He knows what to do. There's something that would help be to run, try to catch, and fail. Had a good start. He just is not the best at hunting those pronghorns. It's honestly probably better if he just ignores them. No, he has never swum through water like that before, that's for sure. And he's just now realizing he could probably have gone around and be fine. Alright, empty spot. Doesn't smell any other territory, nor does he smell his own. Oh god, I remembered sound barrier. So, of course, there's only a logical thing, and mark it. His mate wants to play, so tag into that a bit, and then go right back to marking. And then create another scent post, and there we go. So, what's that smell? It smells weird. Oh, what's this? Maybe his mate will want it? No? Okay. That's alright. He doesn't know what it is. Nor does he care much. So he just wants to go all around. Though, it would be nice to find something to eat. Though, then again, it might be best if he saves his strength. This is a whole new area, after all. And he's mostly going into it blindly. Well, save for his mate, who knows, maybe. Mule deer. No, they spotted him. Though maybe you can catch this one. He doubts it though, because they're heading straight towards the water. Yeah, he doubted it. Who are these wolves? It seems that they're just mere dispersals. You can probably intimidate them with sheer strength alone. Seems like they want to pick a fight. I'll give them a fight. And a quick howl and symbolize our victory. He's not going to tolerate any wolves in his territory. And they better run off. Lead them further into enemy territory. Let his enemies know who's coming. On the arrival of packs. He'll probably need to take a nap soon, though. He can feel a wave of tiredness ebbing on. And so he'll just mark this piece of territory, then take a nap. It's well deserved. He probably has another day or two worth before he needs to actually put his efforts towards hunting. And there we go. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but Raven prefers to sleep in less than open grounds. So curl up and go to sleep. And his mate, and Riju, seems none the wiser, opting to curl up as well and go to sleep. Now night's coming by. They're still well asleep, needing the rest. Thankfully, their territory didn't take that much of a hit while they were out. Smelling antlers and more male dispersals, which does make him a little bit annoyed. There's something else. He senses a den. And, well, his mate is expecting puppies. So he will try to find it. Maybe down here? No. Where could it be? He doesn't really know where to look for a den, so he's out of luck since his mate probably doesn't know either, but there it is. He smells it. This seems nice, though a little bit far out in the territory for his liking. Oh, we need to stop falling. Seems like he's reached another spot where he has it marked. He's hungry, but doesn't quite know what that is. That looks to be a moose, maybe? That does seem to be a moose, and he's not in the mood. Carcass? There's a carcass. The scent's weird, but a carcass is a carcass. And if it's something that can fill up their bellies without needing to exert energy, then they'll gladly take it, though the scent has now disappeared. Along with all the other scents. That's weird. Where did the smell go? Shouldn't have just went up and disappeared like that. Maybe if he tracks back, we'll find it again. Nope. It appears that the scent was lost. Unless the wind just changed direction at the last moment. That's most definitely a moose now, and he doesn't want to deal with that. No, he does smell never den. But right now, he smells food. Smells elk. He doesn't know which one he wants more, but it seems like the smell of elk is going too far for his liking. So I'll just find a den then. Shouldn't be too hard to find, surely. Just follow these scents. No. But mule deer, there is food. He's not missing this chance. He's not fast. He wonders why his mate isn't running up though. Doesn't need to stop though initially for energy. Alright, now he's free. Alright, herd them back to his territory. And so where was the one he was hunting? There it is. This might be best to lock onto this one though, to them being, well, relatively closer. And it appears his mate didn't want to latch on, so now he has to play somewhat of a waiting game again. Lock on. He's found his prey and he's not gonna let them escape. He has to catch up first, of course. I don't know how easier it would have been to just latch onto that other one, but it's pointless. Seems like they ran into enemy territory, but oh well. He needs to wait to have the energy to bite again. And there we go. Taken down. And that was way more hassle than it should have been. But he's not gonna say no to some territory. He's gonna need it for when his pups get here. And though he won't be pushing his luck per se. And there we go. Seems like his mate wanted to howl for a bit, so he'll howl back, I suppose. His mate seems to be enjoying the food. Though the snow is quite annoying. I don't know, it would be best for him to track backwards. Another means going somewhat of a round. So just go this way to find another empty spot territory, claim it, and then just go back up around. Alright, there it goes, reach another spot. He'll howl with his mate. He isn't against doing that. And now we'll go ahead and make a scent post to make sure that the scent's really strong. And he should be able to get a little bit more territory claimed before he gets too tired to continue on. Now he still has a little bit ways to go before he's fully claimed enough territory to say that he has enough to start a pack. And if they need to, then they'll move. And then just make a nice sump post. And there we go. And now there's one last hex he has to claim before he's able to go back down. And he'll just continue on like that. They're on more turf. He's not gonna tolerate that. All of these are dispersals. Sure, he might have been one too, but his mate is currently pregnant. And he's not gonna live for scum like this trying to hurt his mate. Not only stand for them being on his territory, though this one seems to have the same disgusting collar as his mate does. And they made a mistake by trying to hurt him. And there we go, finally. And of course their victory howl to let others know about how strong they are. Alright, now then probably start looking for that den maybe. But it'll just continue going back upwards to claim the hex. The sooner he claims it, the sooner he can go back to sleep. I'm actually playing this a lot more differently than how I normally play. Didn't he just fend off these guys? He needs to bite them quickly. Which of course sends his mate into deciding to fight as well. And just attack them until they flee. There we go, finally. His mate sounds adorable as always. I'm saying that because I actually really love Riju's howl. Also, if I'm butchering that name, please let me know. What is that? It's a carcass. He's not really hungry, but in case it's still here later, but not. It'll be pleasant. Be something pleasant to wake up. So he wants to sleep, but he can't for all these coyotes here. So looks like it's chasing off the competitors. Oh no, they're not getting away with that. Now he can sleep. He doesn't care about curling up tonight, just wants to rest. Riju seems to be on a little bit on the defensive though. Choosing to pat around. Alright, now he can eat, now that the blizzard is over. Alright. Does Riju want to eat anything maybe? Seems like that she did. And they're both full, they'll just be on their merry way. Now where could this den be? Maybe that's it? Yes, it was it. That's good. Alright, now we can go up here. And thankfully, none of his territory has gone down in the slightest bit. I think he's proving to the other wolves that he's too strong. And he hopes to keep it that way. So far, he hasn't received any major injuries that could be fatal. Getting a broken leg from trying to hunt or defend his soon-to-be pups would be really bad. Though, stepping into the enemy territory is quick to go into his senses to try and find where the scent post is, because He has an instinct that tells him that destroying it and making them will cause for a lot more territory. He's running off of pure instinct. And I'm sure his mate is too. Guessing from the collar, she was probably in captivity for at least a little bit. He's seen those collars before, so he knows what they are. No, he's just now remembering what it was. At first he didn't know. Didn't remember. Now he does. And it just makes him love his mate all the more for sharing the same woes as him. And now he just needs to mark it like he would anything else. Now he only needs to howl one more time. He'll play with his mate. Now he just has to get all the way over there. He could just go for that, but so I don't think that'll be enough for his territory though. So he'll go around. Thankfully for him, his little claws are quite strong, so he can howl for a long time. Once he learns the way of the wolf fully, probably over the course of the next couple of years, he'll do better. Though, I have a sneaking expectation that his first litter might not make it all the way alive. His mate seems to want to play, but he would love to play more, but he's more focused on other things such as claiming the territory fully. And now he can fully claim it. And there he goes. Alright. He'll play with his mate for a bit now. Seems like his mate is done playing with him though. Which means now it's time to move on to the next piece of territory that he needs to claim. He needs 6 more. Just 6 more pieces of territory, then it'll be big enough for him to start his family. Of course, he'll probably expand more over the course of time, but you can't say for certain. Though looking at his mate, and then looking far ahead, he wouldn't mind staying here for forever. Sure, he may miss his siblings back in captivity, but he's alright with this. Living out here isn't as hard as it was told. Looking at his mate, he realizes he wants to stay. And that's where we're gonna leave off with today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did making it. And I would like to thank you to my friend for naming Riju. As I said earlier in this episode, I heard it was a Tears of the Kingdom or Tears, I don't know, but it's a Legend of Zelda reference. It's one of the characters in there. I don't know which game it's from, because I don't play Legend of Zelda or any of their games really, except for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.